You're this perp back with another video, and I just got done watching season 8, episode 7 of Wentworth, and man, this is getting so crazy. They're foreshadowing so many things in this episode. These next few episodes are going to be crazy, and I think we're in for one hell of a season finale when we get there, but we're here to just talk about episode 7. If you were checking me out for the first time, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and follow me on Twitter at perpminded420, and check out the playlist in the description below for everything Wentworth. Now, with all that being said, let's get right into the video. So this episode starts off, we get more interactions between Anne and Judy, and things aren't going so well between these two characters, and I'll get into it towards throughout this video, I should say. And Ruby is getting back. Things between her and Allie aren't too good because Allie thought Mari had something to do with her disappearing, and that kind of drove her towards the edge, and kind of things aren't just looking too good for just Ruby and Allie for right now. I think it's just Allie going through some things in her head. She's literally being torn apart with emotions, being top dog and everything is starting to really dawn on her and just really become, a lot of pressure. So speaking of Anne, she gets all the different people, all the COs pretty much together to let them know that Ferguson is being sent into Gen Pop. And, Will puts his foot down and he says, look, I'm leaving. This is wrong. This is too soon. And even Dr. Miller agrees as well. And Vera lets Anne know, like, if Will walks, I'm walking too, and everybody else will too. Going back to Vera, and this whole thing with Ferguson, man, is so interesting to me because you have so many different characters just egging her on, like just threatening her. And the more you threaten her, the more she's going to start to remember. And once she remembers, boy, it's going to be hell on earth for all these different characters. Judy, on the other hand, is trying to get Vera's attention because she wants to use the phone. And blocked her whole entire access to the internet and everything. So it's becoming really personal between Judy and Anne. On the flip side, Mari is getting on Lou's good side. She's playing a game with Lou. I think she's definitely trying to get Lou out the way and steal Reb somehow, because she mentioned that she looks at Reb like a son. So that's going to be interesting to see going forward. Now, with tensions brewing all throughout the prison of Wentworth, you have Anne still controlling Lou and telling Lou, look, you got to protect Ferguson because a lot of people are going to be gunning for her, especially Allie, because Allie definitely has a lot of personal vendettas against Ferguson. I'm wondering how that's going to play out. Is Allie's emotions going to get the best of her? Or is she going to attempt to take out Ferguson? Let me know your thoughts on that because just so much foreshadowing throughout this whole entire episode. It was cool seeing Lou. She kind of knows who Ferguson is, and she's also not kind of buying the whole losing her memory thing, but she says, hey, I will protect you, but if you come between me and mines, I will kill you, pretty much threatening her. Now here comes Judy meeting up with Ruby and Boomer, coming up with this idea that she wants to be able to use the phone, and so she wants to take the extreme route and kind of set her up because she sees that Lou is the one passing notes to her, to one of the guards. And so her plan is to pretty much beat up the guard and force them pretty much, which is kind of stupid because Boomer's been here longer than anybody between all these characters, like Ruby and Judy. And why are you taking orders from her and letting this newcomer get you into some bullshit? And then that's my whole issue with that. I don't really like how that's being written because it doesn't really make sense. Anyways, so Vera comes up with the bright idea that, Will and Anne should go out for a drink to get to know each other, become friends. And as they go out on their date, things seem to go smooth. Will's feeling it. They're got a couple drinks in them, and Anne tries to give Will a kiss, and Will's like, nah, I ain't fucking with you like that. And it just becomes so awkward. While that's going on, Ferguson meets with Dr. Miller, and she really reaches out to him like, I want to know who Ferguson was, who Joan was, what she did. I want to remember. And like I said, you keep poking the bear, eventually the bear is gonna wake up and maul you and start to poke at you. So I'm just waiting for that. Like, this whole season has been the calm of the storm. This is building up to something really, really dope, I think, in my opinion. Now, this is my favorite scene, watching Mari interact with Ferguson. The possibilities here are endless. I really hope we see these two team up. Let it be this season, towards the end of this season, going into next season. I don't know, but maybe Mari has really turned a new leaf and she's trying to be that Liz character. Possibly that's possibly what they could be doing with her character. So now, this was a really heartbreaking moment. I know a lot of people don't like Judy, but to see her facial expression when they say, oh, you could use the phone now, and it was kind of a trap, because Anne's sitting there just listening and just soaking all this in. And she feels bad, but she has this whole thing for terrorists. And just seeing the disappointment in Judy's face was just heartbreaking, because she reached out to her father, and her father wants nothing to do with her. And it's just heartbreaking because she also mentions that she's never met him. And it's kind of weird because we don't really know if that's her dad that she's talking to, or if she's kind of just seeing all this in her head. This is just, a thing that's, I don't know. Let me know how you guys feel about that. But now things get personal because she wants revenge, and she feels like this has everything to do with Anne. She meant to get this guard, I'm drawing a blank on her name, Williams, I think. But it ended up being Anne, and she ended up fucking her up. And this is why I said, like, Boomer and Ruby had no idea what they're getting themselves into, because now this might affect Ruby getting parole. This might affect all three of these characters. We'll see how that works out in the next episode. But now going to Allie, because Allie's just on this tirade right now. She's just losing it. She confronts Ferguson, and even before she confronts Ferguson, Mari's like, don't do it. And, she leaves the room. And this is where Allie just loses it on Ferguson. And Ferguson doesn't know what the hell's going on. She starts to freak out and starts to scream. And then Allie snaps out of it. And she realizes, she doesn't want to become a monster. She doesn't like the things that she's becoming. Like what Top Dog has made her become. She is becoming this different type of person that she's not normally. But anyways, what do you guys think about this episode? I thought it was really solid. They foreshadow a lot, man. I'm looking forward to these last few episodes. But till next week, I'm out.